Chapter 8, Echoes of Destiny. Section 1, Journey commences at Zen Strike Dojo. Location, Zen Strike Dojo. Time, day. Scene 1, Arrival and Enrollment. As the previous day ended, the long-awaited moment for Zell's enrollment at the dojo finally arrived. The morning slipped by swiftly, and now it was noon. George and Zell embarked on their journey to the dojo, anticipation humming in the air. Upon arriving at the dojo, the serene ambiance of the place was palpable. Stepping out of the vehicle, they made their way towards the entrance, where the soft rustle of leaves in nearby trees and the distant echo of martial arts movements filled the air, igniting a sense of anticipation and excitement within Zell. Entering the dojo, they were greeted by Master Zyen, the esteemed head of the establishment, who approached with a welcoming smile. "Welcome," he said warmly. "I am Zyen, the head of the dojo. How may I be of service to you today?" George stepped forward, gesturing toward Zell. "My son is eager to embark on the journey of learning martial arts," he explained. Master Zyen turned his gaze toward Zell, a curious glint in his eyes. With a perceptive glance, he discerned something extraordinary about the young teenager. His energy appears to be different from the others. "It seems small, but possesses a strong aura," he thought to himself. "Have you ever ventured into such a field before?" Master Zyen asked, directing his gaze toward Zell. "No, sir. This will be my first time," Zell replied. "I see," said Master Zyen. Quite odd. No experience, yet such a powerful form of energy," he continued to ponder silently. Master Zyen then invited both father and son to follow him into his office to discuss the necessary paperwork. As they traversed through the dojo, sections organized by color belt separated the students. Along the way, Zell's gaze met with that of another student, Black, both sharing an intense desire to spar with each other. Inside the dojo, Zell found himself seated before the sensei, his nerves tingling with a mix of determination and apprehension. "What motivates you to pursue martial arts now?" inquired Master Zyen. Taking a deep breath, Zell replied, "I've faced situations where I felt powerless, unable to protect those dear to me. I want to change that. I aim to become someone who can stand up for others, to defend myself and those around me if necessary." George, listening in, couldn't help but feel surprised. What could he be referring to? He wondered. Perhaps he's just saying what he thinks the sensei wants to hear. "Martial arts go beyond physical strength," Master Zyen elaborated. "It's about mental resilience and control. The path ahead won't be easy. How do you handle challenges?" "I may lack experience, but I'm willing to confront challenges head-on," Zell responded with determination. "I understand it won't be smooth sailing, but I'm committed to the training, ready to learn, to stumble, and to persevere." "I see," nodded Master Zyen. "One last question," Master Zyen began, handing over a piece of paper outlining the dojo's terms and enrollment fees. Impatiently, Zell muttered under his breath, his impatience evident as he longed to complete the enrollment process swiftly and delve into the training. "What do you hope to gain from our classes?" queried Master Zyen, still pondering the unique energy radiating from the young teenager. "I seek mental clarity and focus," Zell explained. "I aspire to grow not only in skill, but as a person. I want to be dependable, to inspire and protect others. Moreover, I hope to use this opportunity to challenge myself, to build confidence, and to push past my current limitations." "Your determination shines through, Zell," acknowledged Master Zyen. "Our training emphasizes mental strength and self-discovery alongside physical prowess. It's through overcoming obstacles that we truly uncover our potential. Welcome to our dojo, where you can start your path to self-improvement, focus, and mental clarity," Master Zyen remarked. George, who had finished the paperwork and was ready to pay the enrollment and monthly fee, asked, "When does he begin?" "Oh, he could start now if he wants to. All you need to do is complete the fee payment process, and you're all set," replied Master Zyen. After completing all the required formalities, including the fee payment, George bid farewell to Master Zyen and his son, assuring Zell he'd return to pick him up once his session concluded. With a nod of gratitude, George stepped out of the dojo, ready to return later for Zell. As George stepped out of the dojo, his phone buzzed with a call from Dan, who informed him that he and Slick were eagerly waiting for his and Rooney's arrival. George hurriedly got into the vehicle and headed for the bar. Scene 2: Unusual Beginnings. Back within the dojo, Zell changed into training attire, a white belt wrapped around his waist. He was introduced to the rest of the class and received a warm welcome from his fellow peers. "So, Master Zyen, where do I begin? Should I start with the punching bag, or perhaps with the dummies by the side of the wall?" he inquired, gesturing towards them. Master Zyen smiled, replying, "I see you're very eager to begin. Well, today you will start with something unique." Excited, Zell asked, "Which will it be?" Scanning the room at every piece of equipment. "The one over by the side," Master Zyen said, pointing to an old bucket and a mop. "That one?" Zell asked, now looking confused. "Yes, that one," Master Zyen affirmed. The other students, excluding Black, who was 2 belts above Zell, erupted into laughter at his expense. Remember, each aspect of martial arts training holds value, even in the simplest of tasks. Let us all maintain our focus and respect for the practice. He then turned to Zell and instructed him to mop the entire dojo, ensuring he didn't miss any spots. Despite his reluctance, Zell grabbed the cleaning equipment and began mopping. As he worked, Master Zyen and the other students remained focused on their meditation. "Damn, this dojo is too big," he muttered to himself. 30 minutes later, the other students began performing synchronous movements while he continued mopping. "Is this a test to see how patient I can be? Damn, this is so annoying." Zell grunts in frustration. "I can't wait for this day to be over," he thought to himself. Section 2: Strategic Endeavors. Location: Nox Bar. Time: Day. Scene 1: Planning the heist. After a lengthy drive, George finally arrived at the bar where Rooney, Dan, and Slick were already waiting. "There he is," Dan exclaimed, nudging Slick to get his attention as George entered the bar. They both waved enthusiastically to signal their location to George. George hurried over to their table, apologizing for his tardiness as he took a seat. "Is Rooney already here?" George inquired, wondering if their group was complete. They informed him that Rooney was still on his way. A few minutes later, Rooney walked into the bar, greeted warmly by the others. The 4 friends delved into a conversation about the Star Tower and its enigmatic secrets. George turned to Rooney, urging him to share what he had overheard from Waldo during his time as an employee at the facility. Rooney recalled the moment vividly, describing how he had overheard Waldo and Bulla discussing the creation of a device capable of manipulating the minds of billions of ordinary humans, compelling them to obey the wielder's commands. He revealed to them the chilling name of this device, the Red Orb. To their surprise, it bore the same name as the mysterious object housed deep within the facility, locked away in a highly secure room. The revelation left Dan and Slick stunned, the implications sinking in with each passing moment. After George's encounter with Future, Zell and the unsettling events within the facility, including Dan's prophetic dream, a sense of urgency gripped him. The potential consequences of inaction weighed heavily on his mind were at stake, and time was of the essence. "We need to address this issue, and quickly," George exclaimed, his voice tinged with urgency. "But what can we possibly do?" The room housing the orb is the most heavily guarded in the entire facility. And even if we could somehow breach its security, how would we manage to retrieve the orb without detection? Slick's frustration was palpable, his brows furrowed in concern. I might have a solution, Dan interjected, capturing the attention of the others. How? The others asked in unison, intrigued by Dan's assertion. I've recently developed an ability to teleport to distinct locations. I can teleport us in and out without triggering any alarms or being caught on camera, Dan explained confidently. That's incredible, Dan, Slick exclaimed, impressed by his friend's newfound skill. The group collectively praised Dan for his remarkable achievement. With their minds set on the task ahead, the four friends spent time strategizing and formulating a plan to infiltrate the facility and steal the orb. After meticulous planning, they finally devised a solid strategy to bypass the security systems and acquire the orb without raising any alarms. Additionally, they arranged for Rooney to create a replica orb as a decoy, leveraging his unique ability to replicate objects with uncanny accuracy. As they parted ways for the evening, the group agreed to execute their heist the following night. George headed to the dojo, arriving just in time to witness the end of that day's training session. Zell and Black emerged as the last students to leave, their master observing them with a watchful gaze. Upon Zell's request, George offered Black a ride home. A gesture of kindness that was gratefully accepted. With Black safely aboard, they left the dojo, leaving Master Zyen to contemplate their departure from the safety of the training hall. Section 3, Unspoken Connection. Location, Elysium Circle. Time, night. Scene 1, Echoes. That evening, amidst the opulent confines of Elysium Circle, one of the city's most prestigious clubs, lay Phemi, the wife of Waldo. Beyond the club's entrance, an otherworldly realm unfolded, a symphony of pulsating lights and rhythmic beats filled the air. The main room stretched out like a surreal landscape, adorned with cascading lights and enveloped in a fog of perfumed allure. Bodies moved in graceful synchrony to the hypnotic rhythm, promising a night ripe with adventure. Seated in the club's most exclusive chamber were Skull, Raven, and Grim, the three strongest among Phemi's 5 guards. This room boasted the presence of some of the wealthiest individuals in the city. Phemi, adorned in elegant attire, held a glass of champagne as she observed the dancers and patrons alike. Lost in his thoughts, Skull pondered his recent encounter with Black, hoping for a favorable response to his offer. "Hey, Skull. Everything all right?" Raven's voice broke through his reverie. "Ah, yes," he replied with a slight pause, collecting his thoughts. "Everything's fine. I just need some fresh air," he added, excusing himself from the room. Stepping onto the balcony, he caught sight of Mrs. Bates, now employed as a club host, tending to one of the bars. Scene 2, Reflection on the horizon. Both exchanged glances as if a flicker of recognition passed between them. While Skull could place her face, Mrs. Bates found herself puzzled by his lingering gaze. On the balcony, Skull leaned against the railing, gazing out at the city's night horizon, its lights ablaze like a vibrant tapestry. Thoughts swirled tumultuously through his mind. After all these years, he mused softly to himself, I've finally found him. Who would have thought I had a son? For so long I've yearned for a child, unaware that I already had one. How will he react to discovering I'm his father? I've been absent from his life for what feels like an eternity. Should I reveal myself to him? Will he reject me, or perhaps, will he be relieved to know I am his father? Recollections of a past altercation with Raven flooded his mind. After that fight with Raven, Skull reminisced, recalling a heated training session they had shared. I lost my ability to have a child. Yet since that moment, an insatiable desire for a son has welled up within me, a sentiment I never experienced in my youth. Who could have fathomed that one of the women I had been involved with bore a son for me? A faint chuckle escaped his lips. Well, I suppose my years of casual relationships bore some unexpected fruit, he mused wryly. Lost in his contemplation, Skull's reverie was interrupted by Grimm's voice, calling him back inside as their departure approached. With a nod, they both made their way back into the pulsating heart of the club.